we want to actually talk about our US tours. Have you cut this, producer?
I'm not going to cut it, but that was the worst hangover I've ever had.
It was bad.
I literally thought I was going to die.
There's a lot coming because we went to Buc-ees. Mum had never been to Buc-ees before.
Well,
it's my new spiritual home.
It's not mine.
And it was in Kiowa Island.
Kiowa.
Oh, you're the linguist suddenly.
Serena Fresson, emotionally inept.
We decided to go to Nantucket.
It's like a very chic version of the Isle of Wight.
I would say more than a very chic version.
So we're going to talk about Greenwich now.
Now that wasn't so good.
So welcome back, people, to Everyone Loves My Mother with me, Alice.
And me.
See, look, she's trying to get in already. And my adorable mother,
Serena Fresson,
who has really loved the fact we've launched this podcast.
I'm living the dream. Literally living the dream.
I feel like a whole episode could actually be dedicated just to how much you're enjoying.
I mean,
all the messages you're getting.
I'm inundated. Are you? It'd be interesting to know. Are you?
If I was, I wouldn't say it.
Why not? We're in the sharing environment.
I just don't think it's the kind of thing you share.
But with you, who else am I going to share it with?
You tell everyone.
I know. Anyone I see, if I went to the supermarket, I'd tell them there, but I don't.
Anyway, Mum's quite excited about the podcast being launched. We're very happy that some of you have
People really have listened, Alice.
Yeah, thousands of people have downloaded it.
She's a changed woman.
Mum is a changed woman. It's like she's medicated.
I'm not medicated, and I'm the person.
Serena, we both know the answer to that question.
Listen,
you are medicated.
Celebritydom will keep me grounded. I promise you, my feet will remain, my shoes may be a little bit nicer, but my feet will remain firmly on the ground.
You came in this morning saying you're taking a CBD gummy every night, Mum.
Yeah, I am. I've suggested you do.
Why would I take a CBD gummy?
Because you need one more than I do.
Jesus. Anyway, we are here not to talk about how much Mum loves her podcast, but really, we want to actually talk about our US tours.
Yes.
And I'm going to explain what those are in a minute, but I didn't realise this, but in 5 years, or 6, but 5 really, we've been, because of COVID, to America 16 times.
Yeah.
Which is quite a lot.
It's incredible. I haven't been on all the tours with you.
Mainly because of your behaviour. Just
Not
so you
just
know
because
that.
it's not because of my behaviour. I behave very well on tour.
You cry on tour.
Well, that's because you were mean.
I wasn't mean. I just didn't put you in club class.
That is mean. Once again, let's bring up the British Airways again. No joking, obviously. But we are doing this because we love America. We love travelling to America.
And why do we go to America, Mum?
Because we love Americans. And because we have a huge American
business there.
We have our warehouse there.
We do.
Yeah.
We have our customers there. I mean, let's be honest. If there was no Walgreens, CVS or Target, we might come less.
No. That could be one of the reasons we go. When we went to Nashville, it was the only thing we did in the entire time we were there because we were working. We went in an Uber to CVS
and Target. Daisy Cave and
just
I
CVS. CVS. That trip was just CVS. I know.
Target. We do a good hour in.
Yeah.
Tom gets so angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were at the Target in, I can't remember, we'll go into it, but in Dallas, I think we went
Houston.
to Houston. Yeah, that was a
and
good
they
one.
had a Starbucks. We had a matcha to walk around with.
Matcha.
That spread out the time.
Anyway, you can come to that.
But the reason we do these tours, though, really is to meet customers and to, I suppose, talk about our designs.
And listen to them. Listen to their feedback. Listen to what they're interested in or what they'd like us to do.
And today, before we tell you what we're wearing, the reason we really wanted to talk about this part of our lives is because I actually think it all looks very glossy and fun, and there are elements that it is, but it's also one of the kind of maddest things I've ever done. We've had people coming to meet Mum, bringing her a hairdryer because her blow dry was bad. We've had kind of geographical problems that have meant we haven't been able to leave states. We've had
You escaped a hurricane in Palm Beach.
We escaped a hurricane in Palm Beach. Like Daisy Cave nearly got left in where Elvis was from. Yeah,
Memphis.
It's always
But
always
you'll come
high.
to that now.
Yes, no, I know. I'm just introducing Mr.
In case anyone was tapping out now.
In case anyone was like, this is going to be a boring podcast.
It's not boring.
So let's start with you, Mum, as ever.
No, let's start with you, Alice.
No, because mine doesn't take long. What are you wearing, Mum? Come on.
Okay, so today I'm wearing a pink, for those of you who are not watching, it's a sort of bluish pink, isn't it? What sort of pink do you think it is?
It's pink, Mum. Yep. Come on.
For the people not watching, let's be more descriptive.
But why?
Okay,
it's pink.
Because it's a pink suit. It's a linen mix from a company I think called Reiss, Reiss.
Oh, that's where your new slinky trousers are from.
Yes.
You came in last night.
I'm going to wear those. Yeah, I love those. It looks like I play cricket, but anyway. And then this is a vintage costume jewelry by Kenneth J. Lane, T-shirt from Uniqlo. only T-shirts you can ever wear. Bracelet from ME+EM. And shoes are from Roger Vivier. And I really do think you should zoom in on the shoes because they're just utterly fabulous.
And have you ever worn those shoes before?
No, I never will because I love them too much. That's what happens when I love something too much. I mean, if it was even the chance of rain, I'd never wear them.
You look great. I will admit, you look great.
Thank you. I mean, the jacket as ever feels a bit snug, but there's that whole thing. I wouldn't want to buy the bigger size.
You didn't eat the pasta last night.
I didn't eat pasta.
And she's in quite a bright colour.
She's in a bright
And
colour.
my observation about when we've travelled around America is actually Americans are braver with colour.
They love colour.
Yeah, they do.
They embrace
Do you think
it.
that's true?
And I think we do. Whenever I
colour.
walk off the train in Peterborough or in London King's Cross, I'm amazed I'm actually the only person ever in colour. I'm wearing a Vampire's Wife
Beautiful
dress that was, I think, never produced. It was a sample.
because that's a Liberty print.
It's a Liberty
I think
print.
do you know what? I think that print is called Betsy.
Oh my God, imagine. I'm wearing the
I think it
Betsy
is.
dress. It's got silver ruffled lame sleeves. It's got
Puff.
like puff shoulders, but really beautiful. You can feel the kind of
Is there something to
pleat.
keep it up?
Yeah,
that's
like a
very
proper,
clever. Yeah.
And then it's got a frilled skirt, but like a lame skirt. But sadly, walking up the stairs carrying too many things, I ripped it. So we got a problem.
No, we
But
get it.
very sweet Greg.
And your
who works
shoes?
with us said he'd sew it together. My shoes, I bought them
They
to be a
look
grown
extremely
up.
Oh yeah,
No.
if you can show them up because then people can see.
Oh, I'm going to show mine up then.
Yep.
Hold on.
Who's got nicer feet?
I have nice feet.
Mine are Gian, Vito, Rossi, and I think they're quite grown up. when I
They're
bought
very
them.
grown up. I'd be dead if I wore them, but
They're not even that high.
These see, brand new. I'll never wear them outside.
Well, Mum, you
if
should.
there's, if there's a chance
you're not,
of rain,
you're not
it's
that young. You don't have that long to keep them.
It's true. I can't
You're
get them
saying
back
she
on
doesn't
now.
have that
Excuse
long.
me. Well, we're going to start
Brief.
talking about kind of our first foray into America.
Right.
And for me, actually, this was a really exciting, slightly personal journey of someone who I worked with not that closely in fashion called Elizabeth Saltzman.
Yes, fabulous stylist.
Fabulous, Gwyneth stylist of the stars, but really someone who understands up and coming businesses. And she just like cold called me and
Did she?
said, and we were 6 months old, and she said, Alice, you've really got something here. And I really want you to come to America, and I want to host you, and I want to talk about you, and I want you to do something in my home, and we're going to make it fabulous. And in classic Elizabeth way, I was terrifyingly excited, but also it was COVID. You couldn't get into America. And she said, Alice, you'll work it out. And I was like...
What month was it? Do you remember? I can't remember.
She wanted me to come in the summer, but it was full lockdown.
But
Right.
where was this first destination?
So I was getting to that. To get to the Hamptons in New York, which is where she wanted us to come to, we had to go and live in the Bahamas for 2 weeks. That was the
I
only
remember.
way. We basically went and hid in the Bahamas for
I
2
remember.
weeks. Not hid, but worked off our quarantine.
I mean, it's not a bad... Let me just
It
say
wasn't
now.
torture.
It's not torture. I mean, I'd have done that too. It wasn't
Yeah.
a bad place to hide.
But anyway, mad us, we did it.
I remember.
And we nearly missed the flight into Nassau to then get to New York. And I did lose it. I do remember that. And my eldest child had to come and talk me down. From the ceiling in the loo of the airport. And yeah, that was quite bad. But wonderfully, my dear friend Poppy, I remember, was in the Hamptons. And I was quite nervous. And I was like, are people going to even come to this event?
It was our first trip.
It was our
And the
first ever
colours,
trip.
I remember, were chocolate and pink.
Yeah, chocolate and pink.
And peonies on the table.
Elizabeth had curated
Beautiful.
the most beautiful tablescape.
Yeah.
And she let us go into her really amazing home, kind of 19...
I think it's like an Art Deco
Yeah.
white palace in the Hamptons. It's the coolest, most
Really?
unusual, intriguing. I may be getting the architectural style wrong, but it really was very cool. Her mother was also super cool.
And her mother was so cool, and all the children were kind of unpacking the boxes, as was Elizabeth, as was her mum. It was all hands on. I think we were worried about rain, but it didn't come.
Yeah.
And we just basically had the most amazing kind of opening night of Mrs. Alice at Elizabeth's home in the Hamptons. It kind of was the start of our journey out there.
Yeah. It was the first trip.
It was the first trip. And I love that Elizabeth was so right. I'm not saying I'm in any way successful, but I definitely didn't think I'd be doing what I'm doing now then. And having a big warehouse up there, etc. I'm sure Elizabeth will never listen to this, but thank you. She
If you
really
do,
did
Elizabeth,
a lot.
thank you.
It was basically Long Island was your first trip.
Long Island was our first trip. And quite quickly after that, we decided to go to Nantucket. We had always loved and been very inspired by Nell Diamond, who's the founder of Hill House. In fact, we
Love
should
that.
get her on the show one day.
Yeah, I was looking at her clothes today. She's got a new line, a sort of bridely line.
Yeah, she's just
Very,
fabulous.
very clever.
She's an example of someone who's so smart and creative and
Yeah.
has really built a kind of bulletproof business, one that I am very much inspired by. But they said, would we like to do a collaboration? And we actually shot that collaboration in the UK, which
That's
was
right.
great.
Yeah.
And they flew over and they bought all
Those
their
pale
American...
blue hydrangeas.
Pale blue and
a bit of purple.
We made like tablecloths and seat pad cushions out of the fabric, and they made their wonderful nap dresses and mini naps. And I remember Nancy was in one and I was in one, and we shot it in the English countryside. And then to celebrate that, we all flew to Nantucket to do an event at Nell's home. But hey ho, another problem.
Oh,
not
that
lockdown.
was a nightmare.
We didn't get the parcels. There was like a national...
There was a strike in Providence, Rhode Island, and the boxes got stuck.
I remember.
There.
We
Anyway.
practically jumped over a picket fence to get them, but there were riots going on. To cut a long story short, we knew a party planner who somehow got the boxes out for us.
Because
But
obviously it's an island.
it's an island. That was a bit hit and miss, but we didn't
No.
miss, and that was a beautiful evening, and it was really great. Nantucket is as
I've never
an
been.
English person, it's so different, kind of nautical and very.
It's like a very
otherworldly.
chic version of the Isle of Wight.
I've never.
I would
been
say
there.
I would say more than a very chic version of the Isle of Wight from what I've seen.
No,
But I mean, I have been to
don't
the Isle
be
of Wight.
rude about the
I'm
Isle
not
of
being.
Wight.
I
No.
I love the Isle of
Not
Wight.
being-
Absolutely love
yeah.
the Isle of Wight. To be clear.
good.
Like a
Yes.
chic version of Norfolk.
Have you ever been to Norfolk? No, you have not been to Norfolk. Have you ever?
No, I have. I'm sure I have.
What have you done there, Mum?
Golf?
You go to the beach. Yeah, golf.
Yeah.
No golf.
Mum, you've never
Cricket?
been. Have you ever been to a beach in England?
Not that I remember very well.
Yeah,
but then the thing about that, the reason I haven't, which I think is a fair enough reason, is because I am from.
Australia,
Now, what do they have a lot of and beautiful there?
beaches.
So I struggle with going to a British beach. I mean, I'm sure they are. Actually, I'd love to go to Cornwall. That's where I'd love to go.
Mum, as a present, I'm going to send you to Cornwall. I'm not going to come, but maybe you and Tom.
Yeah,
could go to
Tom.
Cornwall.
Surfing.
In fact, maybe I could
Surfing
give you
weekend,
some.
Surfing,
Serena.
100%.
I could give you
Perfect.
some of
I
your
would like to go to
grandchildren.
Cornwall because I've
Would you
seen.
take the children too?
No.
Anyway, you
Anyway,
you got to
back-
get back to USA.
Oh, do we? Okay.
So anyway, Nantucket was great. Really cool place, Mum. You've
Do you
got to
remember
go.
we bicycled the kids all across the island?
Yes, God, I do remember that.
That was really cool.
Yeah, it was very magical, very otherworldly. You know, people couldn't have been friendlier. Very.
Can I
early
say
on.
one thing I remember maybe slightly boring?
Probably.
Well, probably.
Okay, sorry. There were a lot of old buildings in the UK, but actually I would say that in certain areas in the US, particularly the Hamptons and Nantucket, I'm sure many others that I'm not aware of. Sorry, actually Charleston.
You are boring.
The buildings have
Bye.
been kept beautifully. And,
Yes.
and they're really
Their
like,
preservation.
their preservation of the buildings is actually incredibly good. It's really good. Anyway, sorry, very boring.
No, it's not boring, Tom. Not
Like
at all.
that, like Nantucket, the old town there, is pretty much as a whole piece.
I think they treasure their heritage. I
Yeah.
really
Yeah, they
do.
do.
And I think they look after it and they take it very, very seriously.
And there are laws. You can only
Yeah.
build the homes in a certain material. Like it's got to be a shingle.
Yeah, shale and shingle, I think.
Yeah, I'm quite
Really?
impressed. I knew that.
Alice.
But I know.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm
Clever bear over here. I think we're then going to talk about Newport, Rhode Island, which was
literally living the dream.
living the dream.
I mean, The Great Gatsby,
the homes there.
Robert
are-
Redford.
Because we drove from Nantucket and then we took the ferry to, I think it's Hyannisport.
Yes.
Hyannis
Call
Port,
out to
something
Love
else
Story.
going
That's
there.
where the Kennedys lived, I
That's what I
think.
was going to say. That's what happened there.
And then we drove across to Rhode Island.
I think as an English person, the thing that's so extraordinary about Newport is the homes are all next to each other. So like you have just these enormous homes.
Aren't they called cottages?
Yeah, well, they're definitely not cottages.
But that's what they're called.
But like on Bellevue Avenue,
Little
it's just
holiday homes.
one enormous home as big as kind of
Like a giant
Badminton.
English country house.
Really?
a giant English country house. And they've got like a little garden next to each one.
Yeah.
And
They're probably like the thing is.
But
now
Alice,
let's
most
work
people,
out why.
that's quite a big garden.
Let's work out why. I think it must mean because maybe American people like living next to each
Yeah,
other.
maybe
They
they're
probably
just
like each
nicer,
other.
yeah.
They're nicer.
They
They're
are
like-
nicer.
Whereas in England, we've got to have thousands of acres in between everyone because no one ever likes anyone.
And no one sees anyone.
No, I like a lot all my friends, but I'm just saying that could be the reason.
It could be. But the homes really are something else. Can I say the story about the sofa?
Yeah.
It was kind
Sofa?
of Yeah, it was kind of amazing. Someone who works at Tom's family home went to look around
The Breakers.
On Bellevue Avenue, and he went there on his holiday to kind of see the history of these amazing historic American homes.
It's the famous Vanderbilt house, I think.
Right.
Famous Vanderbilt house. And he walks in, and there are a pair of sofas that belonged in Wentworth Woodhouse, which was a family home of my husband's. And so he called my father-in-law and said, I found your sofas, basically.
And he got them
they've
back.
now ended back.
Yeah, amazingly, the Preservation Society sold them, and so we were able to get them back. So basically, they went on a holiday.
Yeah.
The sofas went on a holiday to Newport.
Yeah, they probably
for
really.
about 40
Do you know
years.
what?
Yeah.
They probably loved it.
Yeah, they've come back to miserable
They're probably
Cambridgeshire.
actually miserable where they are.
Anyway,
I mean, we were with the wonderful Meg Braff, who supports us.
What time of year were you there? Was it warm?
summer.
It was summer.
Is
it was
the water
warm.
cold there? You probably didn't
I
go
don't
in it.
swim.
I would say that Newport, my observation is that it was amazingly old school. It was almost more old school than England.
Very,
Really?
very
It was actually very kind of a
What
lot
fun.
of yeah, it was fun. It was a lot
a
of
lot
sort
of
of
rules, a lot of suits.
suits and ties. There was a few men only clubs as well.
Really
And do
good.
people wear trousers
Don't
with
really-
embroidered things
don't
on them?
Really condone that. Do they wear trousers with embroidered things on?
I've seen with turtles and things. Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
DM me if I'm right. 'cause I
Turtles.
probably am.
Your
Trousers.
mother's on the mushrooms again.
I'm not the one, but you can all DM me because I know I'm right.
But Newport, again, magical, very different place to be. Really interesting looking at the history of it. And we went to our favourite home recently. I know we're skipping ahead, but that was in Newport again. We went to Dee Dee Willsey's home. And she's kind of a complete icon of mine. She loves tableware.
Is pink and green her colours?
Pink and green her colours. She's got kind of 5 fabulous white multi-poos, or I'm so
Yeah.
sorry, Dee Dee, I don't know what they are. But the thing
Dogs.
I love most about her is she loves entertaining. And she knew that I also loved entertaining and sell quite a lot of tableware. So she took me actually in 2 of her homes down to the cellar where she keeps all of her glasses,
Incredible.
plates. I mean, she has drawers and cupboards for everything. And that was probably one of my top 5 favourite moments of these 16 tours, was being showed that. But her home in Newport really was iconic. Do you remember it, Tom?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it was.
Absolutely beautiful. I think the thing that was beautiful about Newport for me was just, obviously the houses are very grand and amazing, but it was the setting of the sea, which is actually quite kind of dramatic and big, and you've got massive waves, and it's very
It's quite windy.
special.
Not great for a blow dry.
Oh, a nightmare.
Yeah.
But we did it twice in a very famous house. We did our show with the lovely Anna Paula.
Anna Paula from San Antonio.
From San Antonio. So we're going to talk about Greenwich now?
Oh dear.
Oh, yes. Now, that wasn't so good.
Well, not oh dear, because it
No,
was
great place, but
Great place. Fabulous hostess.
fabulous hostess. We actually went twice.
Yes.
the reason why, you've got to explain why we said oh dear.
Well, Alice rang me and said she wasn't feeling very well. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, you don't sound
we were
very...
doing a pop-up on Greenwich Avenue.
No, Alice called me and she said she wasn't feeling well. I said, oh, what's going on? But you really were not well. And I told you to call Tom.
But Tom was busy.
Tom was busy and he wasn't really being very sympathetic.
No.
Then you spoke to your lovely host.
True.
I was setting up the pop-up.
I know,
Well, of
but when
course-
your wife's like kind of nearly dying, her health goes above the pop-up. But anyway, to kind of very long, boring story short, I'd flown all the way to Greenwich and I ended up in Greenwich Hospital because I'd had some kind of virus or attack or something had gone wrong. But
Didn't you walk into like a local doctor's office
Yes.
and they said, get out of here right now and go to hospital?
yeah, they
Yeah.
thought I was having a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how bad
And
it
our
was.
host, who we were staying with, later said, "Oh," and a sweet American man said, "Oh, I thought your wife was having a cardiac arrest." And I was like, "Yeah, she did look like she was dying."
Yeah. But
luckily you weren't.
As a positive, the hospital couldn't have been
Was
more
it?
lovely.
I bet it was fabulous in Greenwich.
And but, we did flick ahead though, because we went to Greenwich the year before with our sweet colleague Lily, and we had one of the busiest sales days we've ever had. And Marigay is a wonderful hostess, and she lent her home. And again, you just saw the warmth of Americans, the kind of real love that they had for entertaining
And meeting new people.
yeah, but also really decorating their home.
Yeah.
I noticed that in Greenwich there was a huge kind of interest in our lighting and our homeware and those little extras you can add. And I kind of couldn't believe how close it was to New York. I know that's kind of stupid to say, but it's like going to Oxfordshire, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's I guess it's like the Cotswolds of
Yeah. It's the Greenwich High Street, Greenwich, what would it be called?
Yeah, there were 2 restaurants, Le Penguin, very good, but
Good name.
also Polpo.
Oh, Polpo, where you played the piano,
Thank
which
you.
obviously, that's what he wants
Thank
to
you
talk
for
about.
bringing
That's
it
in
up.
the show notes.
Yeah.
It's in the show
Tom
notes.
played piano in Polpo.
So we've brought it up. So we've brought, okay.
Anything else you want to say about you playing the
I'm
piano?
just so glad you brought it up.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
I'd definitely go back. You haven't been yet.
I have been to Greenwich, but not with you.
Okay.
I'm not allowed on all.
Which boyfriend did you go with?
I didn't go with a boyfriend.
Who did you go with then?
I went. Funnily enough, we were looking at possibly even getting a house there.
You and
my husband, Michael.
Oh, wow. Another time you're trying to leave me.
I think we've actually already got to moment or meltdown of the week.
Okay, sure, easy. My moment, getting an appointment to go to the Montrose Clinic to have my Botox done, which I hadn't had done for a while. Now, let me just tell you about this place. It is the most, it's like the Hertford Street of clinics. It is the most beautiful place just in Belgravia I've ever been to. I was completely overwhelmed. So I had a tiny, tiny amount of Botox, but sort of in more, what do you think of my face, Alice?
It looks great.
Truly. Look, can I lift my eyebrows?
Just for someone who doesn't understand, what is a tiny amount of Botox?
Well, I had a tiny amount in a lot of places, and people ask me where, but I don't really concentrate on where. I trusted her so much. Anyway, had that done.
So that was a moment.
And also the meltdown came at the same time because I said to her I would never have a facelift. She looked a bit surprised, but anyway, I said, but I would have a neck lift.
Can't have that without a facelift.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I knew that. But
I know I've seen people say you can have it without it. Anyway, I'm not going to have either, but I'm definitely not having a facelift. And I did think they might be able to just do something, and that's the problem with this filming malarkey we do, particularly like on this angle, it can't be good.
It is interesting how every episode does revert to cosmetic surgery.
And so it should.
But it's good that you didn't get the eyebrow thing.
I'm very happy.
You're very happy. At least you look kind of
normal.
Yeah,
that
well,
wasn't the look I was
one
going
of your
to.
eyebrows
But
is a bit
I
higher.
went somewhere else before, which was lovely. Dr. Georgina Williams.
One day we should talk about your tattoos on your eyebrows.
Oh, that's terrible.
But they're still there.
I know. I'd like to get them removed, but it's a bit of a process, and then you can't do anything for 3
Just
months.
so you know, she tattooed her eyebrows.
It's very common. It's called microblading.
That's the eyebrow episode. It's coming.
It's coming.
It's
But
not.
yeah.
Anyway, high, fabulous Botox, low. I've realised I can't have a neck lift without a facelift, not having a facelift. Over to you.
It doesn't paint you in the best picture, that conversation. What was my meltdown? I got a second cold sore this year.
I feel so bad for you, Alice.
Yeah,
and it's
that was
because,
bad.
honestly, you work she really does. You push yourself, and that's why your body goes, and you get a cold sore, and it's so awful.
Really annoying. I normally don't even mind getting them, but I had 2 photo shoots and a christening.
I know, it was
and
really
it was just
tough.
embarrassing. And then someone actually said to me I had like food on my face, and I was like, no,
Oh, no.
it's a cold sore.
No,
And
that
it's
is-
worse because if you then, when they say it to you, you don't want to say to them it's food. It's not food because
No.
they then feel bad. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll go and wipe it off. But obviously couldn't wipe it off.
They then say to you again, just to tell you you've still got pizza on your face.
Yeah, I left actually.
Maybe you should just always be eating pizza and then people will just think it's pizza.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. I mean, I
Yeah,
might
it'd
not
be
fit
easier
into
for
my
me if you
clothes.
did.
Yeah.
And then what was the moment?
I went to my goddaughter's christening.
Mm-hmm.
That was very special. The service was slightly more modern than I was used to, but I really...
Did they clap?
No,
Sing
but they
funny
really
songs?
enjoyed it. No, they
How was it
sang like,
modern?
I dance in the morning when
I told you, I
I
just-
dance, and that one. And I was like really singing. I was like,
No,
my head,
I'm going to ask you another question. Were you enjoying yourself?
I was.
Good.
My head of,
Did you let go?
my
Let
head
your
of
hair down a
choir
bit?
days really,
Helped.
really helped.
The music was done beautifully. This is in London, so
Yeah.
usually things are quite traditional. Actually, there, it was a bit like if Coldplay had taken the service. So all the hymns were done in a sort of Coldplay with a kind of beat, and
I cried. It was really...
Did they have like an orchestra there or a band?
it was just a piano player with beats.
Listen, it was
Oh.
very moving, and I had a kind of very fabulous American on my left, who I won't name, who's, you'd think warmth wouldn't have hit her quite as much as you'd think, and
Famous.
she cried.
She cried. I don't know who it is. You have to tell me
Yeah,
later.
I'll tell you later.
Give me the initials. No?
So I think that was my moment and my
Okay,
melt. But I
fair
also
enough.
had to go to the christening with a cold sore. So again, it was like a double negative.
High-low.
Now we
Highly.
need to
Like
get
mine.
back to the USA. Next destination, I think you've got to talk about because it's a big one.
So New York City, Mum, let's talk about your life there for a little bit.
Well, I lived there I did everything briefly with your father, but we had an apartment there. We lived on Sutton Place and then we moved to 72nd, just opposite is the big Ralph Lauren still there on 72nd?
I don't know.
But it is where my ex-husband, your father, called me to say he no longer felt like being married. A quick call, quick one. Just wanted to let
So
you
you've
know.
got kind of sad memories.
But I
And
love
was
living in
our, was our husky with you?
I had a Siberian husky called
Called?
Pushkin.
And you said that she was actually harder than me to train.
I mean, it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. It was
husky
a
in New York.
ridiculous. And I love huskies, obviously, blue eyes, but it was not the perfect dog for New York City.
No. I mean, that wasn't well thought
No,
through.
no.
But rather wonderfully, your daughter now is living in New York. My sister.
Beatrice is living in New York, and she loves it. And you love New York.
I love New York.
You
I would
say
have
that-
loved to have lived there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got married too young and lost my life.
Now you found it. We're sitting right here. What are you talking about?
Snap.
No, I'm, now in my early 40s. Life is
You're
dwindling
not in
down.
your early 40s, Alice.
Well, I will be when this comes out.
Oh, true. I'll be 100 when this comes out. No, be silly. What next?
But then we did, in New York City, we've done many pop-ups. We did
Yes.
one at Hill House. We at the
Ro-
Rockefeller.
at the Rock Center.
Yeah, Rockefeller Center, I think
Yeah.
it's called. But we also
Now, this is one that's going to annoy me.
we kind of quite excitingly did two events.
Yeah, very much annoyed.
One
Still annoyed.
hosted by very kindly by Nina Garcia, who's the editor-in-chief of Elle,
Mm-hmm.
who, doesn't help her to help me like that. And she hosted an event in, where was it, Daisy? Casa Cruz. I wore a gold sequined Emilia Wickstead
Mm-hmm,
dress.
Get to the main point.
No, Mum, I was giving interesting context.
Mm-hmm.
The day before, we found out Martha Stewart had said yes.
I mean,
And she came to our event.
I know.
And she said, I've been wanting to meet you.
Did
And
you meet? Did you me or us or you?
Mum, this is not about you.
I know, but it's just that I have been a super fan of Martha's since I was literally a
Serena,
child.
what was it like to meet Martha Stewart?
I didn't meet her. That's the whole point.
You were in England.
I know because
So
I know
not
why.
only did your husband say to you that he didn't want to be with
Yes.
you, also you missed out on meeting Martha Stewart.
I know, and not only once. Let's bring up the next time.
Well,
Bring up the next time.
The sweet bit of the story, which
There is no sweet bit for me.
you're
It's like
actually
a bitter sour.
You're slightly emotionally inept at times, but
I'm not.
you are. I just wrote you a Mother's Day card. You didn't even read
I
it.
couldn't because I didn't have my glasses, and we had to come here
it
and
was
do
like,
the shop.
tick. You've written me a card.
Serena Fresson, emotionally inept.
She is emotionally inept.
Alice,
She is.
we had to get
you're
down
not
here.
It's okay to say this. You're not an emotional person.
Alice, I didn't have my
You pretend
glasses.
you are, but you're not.
Oh.
When I was on the way to the first event that she came to,
That Martha Stewart came to.
that Martha Stewart came to, I was with my very divine colleague, Daisy came in the car. I was FaceTiming my mum on the way, and I was showing her my outfit. And as I was FaceTiming her, I saw the PR message saying, Martha confirmed, an hour away. And I couldn't tell my mum because I just was like,
It
first
would have taken me more than an hour to get there.
she's
that's why.
going to get too angry. But also there was like, I didn't want to tempt fate. I didn't want, and it was the most magical moment of basically, I was probably the worst host ever that
Were
evening.
you nervous?
Because I knew she was coming. I was nervous. I don't drink alcohol. I was nervous anyway because we had really wonderful people, not just Martha. I was trying to have a conversation with them, and kind of an hour in, I was like, she's not coming. And maybe to you all, by the way, in America, you see Martha a lot. She's around and about. In England, she's
We are so overwhelmed by her. We are. I am.
She's
I really
an
am.
icon, and what she's kind of built surrounding the home and kind of the idea of the home, to me, it has always really
Improving
resonated.
your environment,
Yeah.
I think, is what, whether it's with food, cooking, design, it's endless. But
Yeah.
she's incredible.
But I was like, an hour in, she's not coming, and so I went to the loo and tried to like powder myself, and I walked out, and she just like popped out of the elevator.
What was she wearing?
She was wearing a turtleneck
Love that.
with trousers, like leather trousers.
She
maybe.
wears a lot of neutrals.
Yeah, it was a block colour.
Yeah.
And she said, I really wanted to meet you. And she saw our bears. And so that was really exciting.
We named the bears Martha.
We
after
named
that.
the bears Martha.
I was able to talk to her. She apparently loves, or she does love, carriages, horses and carriages.
That's right.
And we have an old carriage of my great-great-grandmother who was American.
I know,
Who came from Cleveland, Ohio,
Well,
but she lived in the UK. Anyway, so we compared carriage stories.
Okay, Tom, just
Fabulous.
invite her over.
Just saying.
Yeah, please come and stay, Martha, if
Martha,
you're ever listening to this.
but-
And then actually we did another
What is the
event.
chance of Martha listening to this? 0.0001 recurring.
We did another great event at the Mark Hotel. And we had so many wonderful people come. It was hosted by Derek Blasberg, and we had Helena Christensen, and we had Giovanna Battaglia, and like, I sound like I'm name dropping, but just an abundance.
You are.
Tory
But that's fine.
Birch, Wes Gordon. Just it was like, suddenly,
Boom. In she
boom,
comes.
In
The
Pops
icon.
Martha again. The icon.
For the second time.
For the second
So
time.
Serena,
Without me for the second time. I'm just going to say this. There is not going to be a third time she's coming. I will make sure she does not come. If I hear her in New York, I will find the name of that agent, whatever she's called. I'll say, tell Martha, hold off until I get there.
So Serena, for you, New York City, just all bad, really.
How
Yes,
did you
all
feel
bad.
when Martha posted about us on Instagram? How
The
did
whole
you feel?
thing I found so distressing.
What was the main reason you couldn't make it there? The actual
Well, it's the
reason.
well-known reason. I could bring it up again, but it's about British Airways. Because, I mean, actually, I could say this. I was contacted this week by a very nice air stewardess on British Airways.
British Airways comes up every week.
I know,
Oh,
because
Jesus,
I would like to do the film with them. You know, that when they talk about how to get into your seat and put the seatbelt on.
You want to be that person?
Yeah, I'd love to be that person.
Mum, who do you think you are?
I'm just relatable. Anyway, the fact is,
So you now don't just want a BA silver card or gold card.
Go
You
on.
actually want to be on their
they're
TV.
going
Alice,
to take
she's
my.
a
They're
changed
going. You know,
person.
this sweet air hostess messaged me, and she's having a row with British Airways too.
Why?
I
Don't
don't know.
say
I haven't looked at my DM state, but I will ask her obviously. So I didn't go to New York because I only like to fly business class. I'll leave it at
And
that.
we're not paying.
And
the
we're not
company.
paying as a company. So, Mum, I again don't think you're being paid into a
Well, how
very
do you
good
feel?
light.
I've got another idea. What about if I went by ship?
Yeah, we could put you in a cargo ship.
Battleship?
No, like the QE tour, one of those big ones.
Oh.
Rocket, yeah.
So, moving on,
for me.
we love New York.
But there's
Design
a
good
lot more America to talk about.
Yeah,
a lot.
If you design good products,
I do, it's all I do.
Better products will make more money.
I'm
and
going
you
to
can
contact
fly.
British Airways again.
Okay, you can't just contact British Airways. And also, like, that's your answer. I say work harder, and you might be able to come. And you're like, no, I'm just going to contact British Airways. I mean,
They want
how
me
I
on
have,
board.
How I have any work ethic is absolutely beyond me. Let's talk about Atlanta. Did you come to Atlanta?
No, but I would love to go to. I've flown through Atlanta once. It's a massive hub.
It's a huge
They've
airport.
got beautiful houses there.
beautiful,
Yes,
beautiful Buckhead.
Yes, in beautiful houses in Buckhead.
And we looked around Swan House on our day off.
Swan
You
House-
had a day off.
Yeah, well,
I've never had a day off on tour. What the hell?
not by choice. Just
Why was
because
everything shut?
Everything
was
shut.
it a holiday?
If you
Relaxed on that
decide
tour.
to behave, you can come on the Q4 tour.
Right, which seat can I sit in?
Except a premium economy seat.
I'm not going to sit in premium
Well,
economy.
then don't come and don't meet all your fans.
Yeah.
Let's do
Missing
some
Martha.
crowdfunding.
Yes, actually, let's crowdfund to get Mum to America.
Great idea.
Okay.
Anyway,
God,
we're in
Jesus.
we're in
They're
Atlanta,
back to America.
Georgia.
Yeah.
And we do.
We
Never
did a
been.
pop up at
We do a pop up at Wheezy Towels.
Yes.
Which is fun.
Love their dressing
And
gowns.
they gave us all dressing
I know.
gowns. It
Yeah.
was so sweet of them. I think they've got great products. It was great, kind of really
Meg
wonderful.
Braff
to be
did a
in-
collaboration, didn't
Yeah.
she, with them? I really like this.
Can I say, for us, it was a first because on that day we actually were invited for the first time ever, but to an American country club by our friends, the Whitakers, Emilia Wickstead.
Oh, yeah.
And
That was our day off.
Was that
And
another day off?
it was great.
It was the same day off. Yeah, we went to a country club.
And the Swan place.
This one place, Daisy and I then went back to Target. And then we all watched a
Wow.
movie in our room and ate like a burger with a mask on. But I think it's an interesting thing to talk about these tours because they're really fun.
They're
But
hard work. They
they're
are.
Not, do you know what's interesting? They're not just hard work. They're very humbling.
they
Because I would admit I don't do as much of the unpacking and the packing as Daisy and Tom, but I do.
I do some.
We do. You do very little, but it is exhausting because you've
It
been
is.
talking all day to people.
And they're so nice and they want to talk to us.
And then it's like, oh, we've got to get to Charleston and we have to pack up the whole
Yes.
pop-up and we're bubble wrapping
And we're on a
and we're
10
like
p.m.
sending
flight.
parrots and we're on a 10 p.m.
That's my
flight.
point.
And we have to get the Uber and our luggage is at the hotel and it is not nearly as glamorous as it looks.
And
but
you
it-
have a row at almost every airport we go to with your
Well,
luggage.
only if it's not BA or American Airlines.
Well,
Delta.
what's
I
happening?
have a
you
row
love?
with Delta.
You do have a row with Delta.
Am I allowed to
It's
talk
that
about
one
this?
world
No,
alliance.
Alice, we mustn't be rude.
Okay, well, I just find it very unfair to
Oh,
buy the allowance of kilos, but to have to split them between the bags.
It's you see people.
It's madness, and I'm there
mad.
on the floor pulling out my dresses like this because each bag has got to be 23 kilos. Not fair. If you've paid for 46 kilos, you should be able to
Well-
have one bag that's 40 and one bag
No,
that's 6.
I will say, Alice.
Oh.
I think that possibly the reason is.
You're going to be excommunicated if you literally
No,
are on their side.
I'm just going to say it could be that it's not fair on the baggage handlers to lift one of your
So
suitcases.
why on BA you're allowed 30 kilos?
Perhaps I've got stronger baggage people.
It's not, no.
Because I love British Airways.
Jesus.
is-
Where did we go next?
Charleston,
Yes.
which is
South Carolina.
South
Love
Carolina.
that.
So beautiful. The homes are more akin to English homes, actually, than anywhere I've been.
It was
It's
beautiful.
picture perfect.
More churches in Charleston, Tom, over to the History Channel.
I don't know.
Yes,
if
you do. It's called
that's
Charlestown.
true.
There
No,
are more churches in the whatever of Charleston than there are anywhere else in America.
Maybe that's true.
Interesting one.
It does obviously feel somewhat English because of the architecture.
It's the Holy City. There we go.
Serena,
Thank you.
many
But
apologies.
I think the thing is,
Thank
I
you.
think this episode is quite boring, so I'm just going to go into some juice. So
Okay, which
if
bit?
any of you, bar Palmer, are still listening, we are in Charleston, we've done a pop-up, and we have quite bad jet lag, and we go out for dinner with the wonderful
Oh my
Pat
God.
Atchell,
The most beautiful house I have probably ever been to.
designed by
Mario Boata.
incredible.
Absolutely unbelievable. And she was beautiful.
And we're having a house
Gracious
tour,
hostess.
and suddenly her really wonderful son comes and takes Tom to have a drink with him.
And that was it.
And to cut a long story short, Tom was so hungover.
Worst I've ever known him. Ever.
He couldn't even come to the pop-up
No.
the next day.
No.
He walked in and he looked
Please,
so...
I think this is a bit...
No,
No, Tom,
I mean, let
no.
me just tell you, it was bad.
He walked into the
Guys,
pop-up and Daisy
why-
and I had to... You were having sleep, by the way. And Daisy and I had to say, don't worry, Tom, we've got this. You would be brand damaging. if
Yeah, you would.
stood up.
You would. You'd
No,
set a
but-
fire if you'd been in a room without even a match.
Yeah.
And
if you cut this, producer...
I'm not going to cut it, but I will point out that listen. I'm no stranger to a drink. I'm not
No,
fussy,
it's a very, very good friend of yours.
but I am not used to bourbon.
And do you drink bourbon now?
No,
No, never
No,
again.
that was the worst hangover I've ever had. And we had my new friend Whitney, very, very kindly. I think he's on a show called Southern Charm.
I love that show. Have you
Anyway,
watched it?
No.
He very kindly
With Pat?
He gave me a lot of bourbon,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never felt worse. I had a great time, wonderful time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Whitney. Thank you, Pat. Great fun. But the next day, I literally thought I
difficult.
was going to die.
Yeah, I was pretty angry. Anyway, you were kind of dead for most of the beginning of the tour then. So we were in Charleston, and then we were like, let's go to the Dunlin, which was
Yes,
in,
because we were doing a photo shoot there, and we thought, let's go and have a little look.
and it was in Kiowa Island.
Beautiful.
Kiowa.
Kiowa. Oh, you're the linguist suddenly. What's walk in French? I rest my
Or
case.
Italian. Or Spanish.
English people are not good at languages, by the way. And we went to the Dunlin, and we just had a little look at this amazing...
What did we have for lunch? Do you remember? Was it a Caesar salad with shrimp? Shrimp Caesar salad, unbelievable.
I wouldn't have had that. 'cause
No,
it's
what we
vegetable.
had was, for the first time ever, we'd all have low country cooking.
We did.
And it was
that a Caesar
hush
salad?
puppies, oysters, collard
Wait.
greens,
Right. Okay.
masses of stuff.
But I think we're going to talk about that another time, because that is to do. We did a
Fine.
photo shoot there, but it was really amazing to see that low country and how close it was to Charleston, but actually how very quickly the landscape changed, and it felt quite. I don't know, like somewhere I'd never been before. Do
You know,
what I
and
mean?
is that the time that we then...
So that was when we all went a bit mad. We had booked all these internal flights, and geography is not my strong point, but we decided to drive from Kiowa.
in South Carolina to Charlotte in North Carolina.
And that was
How
planned.
long was that drive?
It was about 4 hours.
Okay. And poor Daisy Cave with us was like slightly...
She was in the back. You were in the back, weren't you? And it wasn't...
I was in the back too with
But
her.
but you said...
Put it this
I
way,
was
it
in the
was a
front.
car. It was a car of idiots.
No, but I loved it.
It was a ship of fools. We drove for 3 hours, and all I said was, Serena, when we go past the state sign, just for the reel, just so we can put it on Instagram, just film the state sign. So we saw it half a mile off. Oh, look, there's the state sign. Get your phone ready. I'm getting it ready. Open the window. And then we just go past. You miss the
probably-
state sign completely.
My hair was the window down and the blow dry.
Yeah,
you know,
you started
it was
freaking
silly.
out
It's
with
a
that.
silly request.
Anyway, I then had so much fun in the car that I said, well, look, let's also... We'll talk about
I
our time
said-
in Charlotte in a minute, but let's drive from Charlotte to Atlanta.
No, Nashville.
It says Atlanta here, for God's sakes.
Alice, your geography is appalling.
No, we
Sorry.
drove from
Charlotte to Nashville.
Yeah.
And at this point, Daisy Cave, who normally gets everything right, went...
I don't
Sorry, guys,
think so.
I can't be in a car for another 4 hours with you.
For 6 hours. I
This was like a 5.5
But-
hour.
We thought it would be about at 5.5
Don't
hours.
rush this. I think you're going to have to do another episode. Maybe the first time ever we've done a Everyone Loves My Mother, a part 1 and part 2.
We need to then say there's a lot coming because we went to Buc-ees.
Gosh.
Mum had never been to Buc-ees
Yeah,
before.
well.
It's my new spiritual home.
It's not mine.
All the stuff that to do with Texas, all the Dallas, Houston,
Right.
San Antonio, you've got
We've got
Florida.
Texas, we've got Dallas, we've got
And then-
San Antonio. Let's not forget San Francisco
Yeah,
California.
love that.
and California. A lot said about California.
And
Yeah.
Palm Beach.
But this might be a really boring
And
episode.
I almost feel like there are 3 episodes coming.
Yeah, me too. But, and you know, what are we going to be wearing? What's the meltdown? I can't wait to
I'm
get
going to
back
wear
on it.
this again. Can
If
I
you-
wear this?
No, you can't wear that, Mum.
I want to. I love it.
If everyone wants my mother rather than loves my mother,
I'm
then-
available.
Then she's available. Please, if you'd like to listen, please keep on listening.
Yeah.
But more importantly, don't DM my mother because it wastes her time.
No,
not,
please do.
not
Please
working.
do.
She's
And
been-
British Airways, once again, anyone from British
Mum, I'm
Airways.
actually going
Stop
to
it.
hurt you now.
Stop it.
Just stop it. They're going to ban you from their flights.
I'm not on it to be banned.
If you have anything you want us to talk about or anything you'd like to hear more about or really
not.
tell us what we're doing wrong, we would love to hear. Because
'Cause we're
as
not-
you can
Yeah,
tell,
plenty.
we don't know what we're doing.
No.
Anything else you want to say, Mum?
No.
One word of wisdom?
Download or watch on YouTube, and you can listen to it on an Apple podcast. That's the purple logo. I am now going to run with this. An Apple podcast, which is the purple logo. Spotify, which is the green and black logo. YouTube, which is red and black, I think. Crowdfund my ticket. I thought I wasn't allowed to mention that again. Anyway, crowdfund for me to get to America again. That's about it.
Have a wonderful week.
Have a
people.
wonderful week. And I'm going to wear this again, so
See you on part 2.
I am.
See you in part 2. See you on part 2. Bye.